Hey guys, welcome back. It's another episode of the Spartan Shadows podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris. I'm joined with my co-host Zach and Emmett. Today, another special guest joining us, friend of the program, returning guest, awesome individual, even better person. Our friend Matt Seybert, former MSU tight end, coming back to talk ball, talk a little bit of what game week before the opener is like, and just get us in the mindset of hey, football in a couple days and what everybody's thinking. So, Matt, we appreciate you joining us. Zach, Emmett, of course, thanks for joining me. Emmett, how's it going over there?
Oh, it's going pretty good. We're, 2 sleeps away from football? Going to be hard to sleep tonight. Just very excited for everything coming forward for Michigan State football. Been a long off season. The last, honestly, 99, 97 days have all flown by. I feel like I've said this a couple times. Just yesterday, I was making a post for Quindarius Dunnigan, 99 days till football. At this point today, we are recording this on Wednesday night. It was 2 days till Michigan State football. Got to make a post for Aidan Childs and Aiden West. Overall, I'm just very excited for the season to begin. What about you, Zach? How are you doing today?
Doing absolutely fantastic. Can't believe college football is finally back in a couple of days. Obviously, week 0 was last week. We saw some interesting games, but there's nothing better than watching Spartan football, especially in Spartan Stadium. With obviously the J Bat interview earlier today from Locked On Spartans, there's some excitement about possible fireworks happening. Basically, all but nothing but confirmed at this point. You got Mun tailgate coming back. Like, there's just so much excitement about obviously the game day experience. And then you got the team coming back with year number 2 under Jonathan Smith. So there's obviously excitement there. Excitement with the wide receiver room, with the offensive line, with Aidan Childs. You got some potential on defense as well. What is Michigan State going to look like on Friday? That is the real question. But obviously, also really excited to have Matt on as well. Talk a little bit about his experience. Talk a little bit about what that probably Spartan Walk is like. I know that Emmett wrote a great article that included you
Thank
in
you.
that as well, Matt. So, how's things been going over there for you, Matt? Are you excited for Friday?
I'm ecstatic, man. I cannot wait. Got a little appetizer in week 0, and we don't have to wait much longer for Friday night. I'm really excited to see those fireworks pop off after either 75-yard bomb to Nick Marsh, or personally, I think it's going to be a read option take for 60 yards to the crib by number 2. So either
Okay.
way, fireworks can go off. I can't wait.
There we
I
go.
did mention, I think last episode, I'm like, let's for the preview of this game, I did mention about turning back the clock to 2021, which we all know, at least for the first game, the Kenneth Walker run, and then the second game was the flea flicker against Youngstown State. So let's turn back the clock there and kind of do something pretty similar there. So definitely agree with you on that, Matt.
That'd be awesome. I will never forget those 2 plays to open up the season. It was awesome.
Absolutely. So I guess we'll get right in. I'll start out. Game week for you as a former player. What's going through your mindset? You know, you've got camp over, you've got practice over. You're ready to go. What are you thinking heading in a couple days before game time?
Definitely 2 things that come to mind for me personally. One is just excited to go compete against another jersey that's not your own team. You know, you can really go out there and just let it rip with no regrets, no like buddy with your teammate. It's the opposition and you're trying to put them in the dirt, and it's an awesome feeling. And the other part is there is a bit of nervous energy, at least for me. I think every athlete feels it. I don't know if they all want to admit it. Definitely some nervous energy that you have to hone in and control and use it to your advantage. Because when that clock starts going and then we kick the ball off, you can't be nervous out there. You got to play with confidence. For me, it was prepare so much mentally to the point where you don't have to think at all. Week 1, you can just go out and fly around completely and play free.
And I love the point where you talk about competing against the opponent. And I know that in the YouTube video today from This Is State, Jonathan Smith talked about competing with each other instead of competing like against each other. And I feel like that just like constantly competing against each other in fall probably gets a little bit boring, or maybe gets a little bit of frustration going up against the same guys over and over and over when it finally comes game day, when it's finally like, let's say a Western Michigan or someone else is wearing some other jersey. Like when you see that, you're like, okay, like let's get going. I'm done with competing against or with the same teammates over and over and over for 3 straight weeks.
100%. And like I don't know, it sounds kind of crazy, but if I'm a tight end lined up in a wing during fall camp and I got to go across the line of scrimmage and smack the heck out of one of my good buddies on defense, like obviously I'm going to give it my all. I got to put up good film, but I can't just go talk crazy to him. Well, sometimes, but I can't just talk unbelievable things to him and just be okay with it. But on game day, I can say whatever I want to bro who's wearing a Western Michigan jersey because I owe him nothing. I owe him no friendship. It's just opposition against opposition, and you're trying to put him in the dirt. And that's the best feeling ever when you can just let it rip with no regrets. It's awesome.
Who was the best smack talker at Michigan State when you played
that's
that
a good
you went up against? Like who was someone that you knew that if you were going back and forth, you knew that they were going to give it right back to you?
Kenny was pretty good at smack talking. I've experienced probably the most chirping with Kenny on scout team all those years that I was playing there tight end on scout team. When I was younger, I know Monte Nicholson, Demetrius Cox, they like to talk a lot. I don't remember if Demetrius Cooper talked a lot. He was just really good. But yeah, that was good times.
How about you? Were you much of a smack talker at all, or did you stay pretty quiet for the most part?
No, I like to talk. Sometimes in games I would just say stuff for fun, like just to experience it, like just to start stuff for not for like a penalty or to cause any like real frustration from the coaching staff, but just to play mind games with the opponent, and just say stuff before the snap in my stance, like after the snap. It's just fun to actually talk to your opponent and not just go through the motions and play the game and not say anything. Like that's kind of boring. You might as well have fun with it if you're out there.
In that,
Exactly.
not to interrupt both of you, but in that light, I gotta ask, how was Aidan Hutchinson in that regard? And I'm thinking of that one specific moment that about that we've talked about it before. Who instigated that one? Was a lot said? Can you share what was said? This is a family program now.
No, totally. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can't recall any words during that altercation. I just remember exactly what happened. I don't know what number it was. Some linebacker just shoved me, and to keep myself from falling on the ground, this was way after the whistle, I used one of Michigan's players that was on the ground to keep myself from going to the ground. But Aiden thought I had pushed him on the ground while he was already down. So Aiden came to defend him, and it just became a whole thing. I wasn't even trying to start anything on that. That was crazy. We drew a 15-yard personal foul on Aidan Hutchinson. That was great.
Yeah. I remember that, and then I remember when I was doing my interview with you last year, I had to use that picture because it looked like you two were about to pop off. It was great.
Yeah, that was heated. Yeah, that was a good memory. I love little stuff like that in the game. It gets a little heated, but it's not too bad. It was fun.
So earlier you mentioned practice squad. Those years on the practice squad with Kenny Willicus. What does recently they named practice squad players of the week. What does that honor really mean, at least to you, and how does that parlay into getting your chance to get your number called during game day? Does it give you that potential, hey, I might get in for an extra special teams rep or something like that?
Practice squad player of the week is huge. If you're getting practice squad player of the week, then you really are standing out. I love what Jonathan Smith does on social media, posting them and recognizing them. Actually, selfishly, I'm a little jealous of that because I would have got a few posts and that would have felt pretty dang good. But as a practice squad player of the week guy, if you're consistently showing up as that guy and you're undeniable, you're for sure earning. I don't know if you're going to earn playing time this year because those guys are pretty low on the depth chart that are over there on scout team. No matter how good you do, you're probably pretty far away from actually hitting the field. I don't know about special teams, but you're totally making a name for yourself. And with the biggest thing is you're putting tape up for the next season. So if you're a young guy and you're down on the depth chart and you're getting practice squad or scout team player of the week, you're setting yourself up for success when the older guys are gone and it's your turn. Totally, it's doing nothing but great things for you, and you're grabbing eyes for sure.
And you probably earn respect from your own teammates as well.
You do. A lot of the scout team player of the week guys though do not get along with older guys. I'm gonna be honest. Like at least when I was there, it was considered almost like a. This goes for any team. It's not just the team I was on, but sometimes it can be considered like you're being a try-hard or like, I don't know. They don't like it when you beat them. Like, that doesn't look good for them. You know what I mean? Especially going against your scout team freshman. Like, that's not a good look as a junior or senior. So they don't love it. The defense or whoever the opposing team is that day, they don't love that. But you do gain respect eventually. It just takes some time.
Okay.
So speaking of the younger guys, one name in the tight end room we've heard a little bit about, we've gotten a little bit of hype building for him, is Orchard Lake St. Mary's Jaden Savory. He joined the team in the summer, and apparently his talent has been undeniable with Brian Lindgren talking about him, Jonathan Smith talking about him. Lindgren expanding that, we're probably going to see him in a passing situation or two, and he's had good plays in the scrimmages. So, as a guy who fought your way up that tight end depth chart, especially in a loaded group, I believe you guys sent multiple guys to the NFL. What is it like, fighting your way to playing time through stiff competition?
It's a battle. It can be mentally exhausting because you'll have days where you're just dominating and nothing comes from it, and then you'll have days where you just do horrible and you're driving home after practice, after film, and you feel kind of hopeless. Like, I don't know if I'm ever going to get up there. It's mental warfare to be able to persist through the challenges, man, and to see the light at the end of the tunnel, because sometimes the light can be pretty dim when you're at the bottom of a depth chart, and you know that the guys that are in the same room are damn good. So you know what the coaches are thinking, and it's hard to play that mind game with yourself. You just have to have undeniable faith in something that, like, my teammates had told me, or like older guys that were walk-ons. Like Damone Harris was a walk-on at UB. He's been in the NFL this whole time since he graduated there. He always told me, as a walk-on, what you have to do is you have to be so good consistently during practice that they can't deny you. Like, you have to be so good where the coaching staff is just thinking to themselves and saying in the meeting rooms that, like, I mean, we have to use him on the field. Like, there's no way we can't. So that was just my mindset, is just make as many plays every time you can, and just show them that, like, there's no way I can't help you win.
So how much do you pay attention to when the coaches are talking about you to the media? Like, if you hear your name being mentioned, do you really pay attention to it, or the more I'm just going to do my job, and if I get playing time on Friday, on Saturday, that's great, but I'm just here to do my job and, make the team better as a whole? How much do you pay attention to what the media says, what the coaches say to the media?
I'm going to be honest. They probably advise you not to say this as a player and stuff. I paid full attention. I read everything. And, like, I took it all to heart. And and for the most part, everything that was written was pretty accurate as far as, like, who's going to play, who's looking to, like, contribute but not be a starter. When I was there, it was all pretty accurate. And, like, when you're in, like, week 1 and 2 of camp and you see things written like these are the projected guys, you're like, dang. And, like, but it's really true. Like, most things are pretty dang accurate, and I paid close attention to it. I read a lot of things. I was locked in. I mean, it was my life. It all popped up, and I'm not just going to ignore it. So, yeah.
I know we talked about it, and you said that the second you got on the bus after the game, you're name searching yourself.
Totally name searching myself. Are you kidding me? Like, to go catch a pass and catch a touchdown on live TV and then being able to see it on my phone after, was a damn good feeling. It was cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Shifting gears a little bit, we got Western this weekend. Matt School, I know you're a little familiar starting at Buffalo. Being somebody who spent some time in the MAC, what is the difference for those first-time players maybe from Western that are going to come up and experience the Spartan Stadium for the first time and be in a big college major environment? Like, what's the thought process? What kind of goes through your head and say, wow, this is different?
No, totally. When I was at Buffalo, I redshirted, so I didn't get to experience that big crowd until I got to Michigan State. But I feel like for those types of players who haven't been in that type of environment, you're either going to feed off that incredibly, and it's going to make you perform better than you ever have before, or you're really just going to fold under the pressure. It's no in between. And you see it every year. There's going to be a small school that comes out week 1 and is very surprised by the way they play against a bigger opponent. And Division I level, there's a lot of good players, so you got to be careful. But it definitely can be a shell shock. It's overwhelming amount of people, but for like a guy like me, it's what you dream of. So it's very exciting, and it can give the other team honestly a boost more than if they were just playing over at, say, I don't know, Miami, Ohio. It can give you a little boost and adrenaline that may not last the whole game, but first half for sure.
Do you think the transfer portal, everything that's kind of going on in college athletics, do you think that really kind of helps with that a little bit? Because some of these guys that are going to like MAC schools, they might have not been playing like SEC schools, Big Ten schools, and they end up going to like a Western. Like, for example, he's not playing in the game, but Cole Cabana was at the other team last year, the team down the road, and then now he's at Western Michigan. So there's a little bit of understanding there. Do you think that really helps, or it's just weird because you see a lot of turnover at MAC schools now? So it's like it's not the same team every single year. So do you think it's quite a bit different now with like where college athletics and transfer portal is than prior? Because I feel like a lot of people are going to believe that you might not see as many upsets now from the smaller schools against the big schools?
Yeah, see, I like this question because I actually think about this a lot and I go back and forth because, one, you get all the good players at big schools who are not happy not playing, but they are good enough to be there,
Yeah.
going to a school like Western Michigan, and that's dangerous because they're good enough to play at freaking Ole Miss,
Mhm.
but they end up in the MAC. But then you got the guys who are absolutely going crazy and just balling out all season, and they're gone after 1 year. Like, I'm not staying in the MAC. Why would I? I don't blame them. So, like, I guess I feel like it ends up just balancing itself out. But it is hard for the mid majors, like a MAC school, to build something special where they can have a good enough team because you're going to always lose your good players, but you'll get some more good ones. It's a great question. I really don't know how I feel about it. And specifically, it's just a trampoline for coaches to get there. You either get fired or get rehired by a bigger school. So it's never consistent unless you get a rare case like Coach Creighton at Eastern Michigan. I don't know how long he's been there.
Yeah.
That was my favorite coach. I got recruited by coming from St. Francis Traverse City. That was my favorite coach, and it's awesome that he's been there this whole time. I hope they find some success. But yeah, it's weird how that works out with transfer portal.
Yeah, and what's crazy about Eastern is they lost 73% of their production from last year. And you have a guy like Noah Kim, who was at MSU, now is at Eastern Michigan, maybe starting. But I feel like you're not going to get kind of the Western Michigan of like the PJ Fleck year where they went to the Cotton Bowl. Like, I feel like
Right.
that kind of time of a MAC school of building up to that point is kind of gone, which is sad if you really think about it, but that doesn't mean there's not that possibility of it happening.
I agree. I think it is sad too. Yeah, you don't really build up to it. You really would just have to get lucky with a whole bunch of good transfers coming to your school only in the MAC and not all the other schools. So yeah,
you
that
basically
is
have
kind
to
of
Indiana
sad.
it. Sorry to
Yeah.
interject. You kind of have to Indiana it, except at a lower level than hitting on all of those guys you bring in, for example.
Right. Like bringing all the guys from a previous team, you're saying?
Yeah, either a previous team, like, for example, if you transfer up from FCS or JUCO levels, depending on where you're hired from. Would you say that might be the strategy where you might see someone hit gold, so to
Right.
say?
Yeah, that's a good point. I feel like it would have to be like a whole group of people, like 20 to 30 guys that are like really like that, where you would have a special team.
Yeah. Go ahead, Emmett. I know you got.
Okay, so obviously Friday, before everyone gets into the stadium, you're going to see that Spartan Walk. So I know we talked about it in my article. Would you like to kind of describe to the fans what's that player's perspective, seeing those fans lining up early, going to see you guys march into the stadium, getting to throw that penny onto the Sparty statue? What does that mean to you, and like, what is that moment like? Also, bonus question: what if you could put headphones on? I know you said you couldn't during the D'Antonio era. What song are you blasting if you're walking into the stadium on Friday night?
That last part of the question is a tough one to think about when I'm going to answer the rest of this. That walk, it's special because it's just like a huge sense of the Spartan community just coming together. You can feel the passion, the support. Like, it's way before the game. I think it's like 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours. It's pretty early. And even if it's early in the morning before a noon game, I mean, the people show up. And it's like, it's incredible to be able to high five the kids because, like I told you, Emmett, like if I was a kid in elementary school and I got a Michigan State football player to high five me on the way to the game and then watch him on TV, like, that just sets the dream off right there. Like, I want that now for the rest of my life. That's who I want to be. So like, just like knowing that that's what we got to do is like, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. Very special. Seeing your family before the game there, like them getting to see you in your mode, in your suit, dressed up, ready to go to work. Like, it's a pretty cool moment, man. So it's electric. And if I could wear the headphones, I think the artist that keeps coming to mind for me is what I grew up with is Chief Keef. I don't know what song it would be, but Chief Keef just gets me in that ready to go to war mentality. Like, I'm going against somebody and I'm trying to do bad things to that person.
Knowing you and seeing your Instagram stories, I'm surprised it was an NBA YoungBoy, but I'll allow it.
I know. I feel like NBA YoungBoy would be good too, but he might draw some 15-yard personal fouls for me if I put him
I
on
was about to say,
floor.
you already know on Friday you're going to definitely see my pregame playlist from when I'm heading up to state. So
I can't wait. I'm so pumped. When that playlist comes over, it's going to be like, yeah, we're officially.
yeah.
Outside of the Spartan Walk, what's your favorite game day tradition?
Oh, unfortunately, I don't know if this counts, but it's honestly the pregame meal the night before was so freaking good every time. No matter where we went, like even the away games, it always was so good. And nothing compares to it. And we always overate. Like, it was unbelievable. The buffet is the best buffet I had in my life every weekend for 4 straight years.
Love it.
My favorite part.
But,
So
Yeah,
does that
it was
make it an advantage for night games when you have the full extra day to digest? Will you almost call that a hidden benefit of night games then? Because you have that extra time to digest. I know you don't get to
low
see
key.
his family as much, but it's kind of a trade-off, I guess.
Low key, it is nice. Like you're digesting, you're watching like the huge big noon games. Like you're kind of just chilling. I loved the night games. I was like, it was fun to watch football before we went to go play football. If that makes sense, I like that a lot.
So if you're playing at 7 and your opponent the next week is playing at noon, is there an emphasis on watching that team, or do you guys kind of just watch whatever you would like when you're getting ready for that game?
If it was like scum, like for sure we'd probably watch them, like hoping for the worst, and like obviously like every day we do something to beat them. So if they were playing and we could watch, for sure watching them. But any other school, probably not really locked in on them like that. Like I would honestly, if we were playing like I don't know, say Maryland the next weekend, but Texas and Ohio State were on at noon, I'm probably watching Texas versus Ohio State just because I love ball and I'm like, this is a damn good game.
That's fair.
Yeah, so that's how it would be for me.
I am at least watching Texas versus Ohio State this weekend. A game day as well with Lee Corso with getting his last headgear pick, which is really sad. Like, obviously, there was going to be a time that it was going to come, but I know we've talked about it. Emma and Chris and I've talked about it. I've talked with other people about it. I think he's going to go with Ohio State just because that was his first quote-unquote love, but it's going to be interesting to see where it goes.
yeah.
It's a good point.
His heart may say Ohio State. My brain and my heart definitely say Texas. Not even because Ohio State and Big Ten. I just think it's two quarterbacks making the first career start, but one making their first career start against the number one team. It's going to be interesting. I just think.
And I must say, not to be, I don't want to disrespect anybody because I know my football career is coming to an end, but just in case it's not and I have to make a connection down the road, I don't want this guy to somehow stumble upon this, but let's take into consideration that Matt Patricia is calling plays for Ohio State for their first time. With the new quarterback, I'm not saying, I mean, it could be great. Obviously, the dude's got unbelievable knowledge, experience, but it's all brand new. And I know Texas has a new quarterback, but he has some experience, but they got same play caller. I mean, it seems like a little bit of a disadvantage for Ohio State, in my opinion.
I mean, and that quarterback's got a last name of Manning, so.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Manning with a last name more athletic than the other Mannings kind of helps a little bit.
That's a low bar to cross.
So back on topic, Michigan State today, like a couple hours before we recorded, revealed their uniform combination, their own Stripe the Stadium with the white lids, the green uniforms, the white pants. First off, what is your thought on that, especially for Stripe the Stadium? And did you have a favorite combination when you were playing?
Yeah, I love the Stripe the Stadium. I think that type of stuff. I love crowd like designs with, like we're going to do a green out, white out, Stripe the Stadium. Any school that does that, I think it looks very aesthetically pleasing. I love that stuff. I think it's fire. My favorite uniform combo got to be the all greens because I'll just never forget watching the Michigan State defense just demolish Michigan in the all greens. I think it was when they had Devin Gardner. When they were wearing the all greens. And
yeah,
I
2013, 2014.
That's when they had the negative rushing yards, or no? Or was that different?
13 was negative rushing yards, 14 was the State year. Yeah.
Yeah. And I just remember the all greens being on. I'm like, dude, they're just going crazy. Like, they're wearing all green. And ever since then, like, it was the no-fly zone. Like, so the all greens just hit different for me. I think it just is electric.
I've never felt bad for a Michigan player besides that day.
White or green face mask with the all greens?
White face mask. I think the contrast between the face mask and the helmet hits. I think it's very intimidating. I don't know if intimidating is the right word, but it's sharp. When you have like just a white face mask, but everything else is green and there's a visor, and it's just like, oh yeah, they're coming to put that white face mask on you.
I have to ask, just because you're wearing the shirt, thoughts on the neon uniforms?
Well, I loved it at halftime of, was it?
It was Illinois. It was Illinois, Matt.
Yeah. Halftime. Yeah. I'm thinking, I'm coming out of the game in the fourth quarter. I'm like, dude, we're so back right now. I'm absolutely having the best blocking game of my life. Elijah Collins is taking runs to the house. Brian's taking it to the crib. I'm like, dude, this is like, we're having so much fun. There's something in the neon. We're just exploding on offense. And then it was just a nightmare.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we don't talk about that game anymore.
Yeah, I cannot believe it folded like that. But and
I
then
told
it's
myself
right back
next
to reality.
touchdown, I'm sitting with my parents who were 2 sections over because I was in the student section that game, and the next touchdown never happened.
Unfreaking real, dude. And it's like we see the uniforms on our phones or in the lobby of the building, and like we're like, that's not it. Like we didn't like it. No one really liked it. We're like, what are we doing? And then like obviously we're playing unbelievable, and it's like, okay, we might like them a little bit more now. And then it just went back to we don't really love them anymore.
It was the text and the pants for me that really.
Yeah.
The text always bugged me with it. That was the biggest thing for me.
Yeah, and like the neon, I just don't think it goes with another shade of green. Like I'm okay with it on like an all black uniform, like basketball. Like
That's my ideal
the
neon.
contrast. I don't know. It just doesn't flow.
Yeah. Also, as someone who had your fan experience in the Spartan Stadium last fall, what are your thoughts on the new concession options and everything coming to Michigan State under J-Bat? You saw that we have a little, I don't know if you saw this on social media, there's a Little Caesars coming, there's an Auntie Annie's coming. Apparently, he also said there's a Jersey Mike's coming to the stadium. So what are your thoughts on that as someone who had your fan experience, especially last year?
I think it's amazing. J-Bat might be the best thing that's ever happened to Michigan State. We'll see in the next decade, but
he's off to a start.
I think he's about it. Like he's very intentful. He's getting right to action before his first season. So I think it's great. I think having Little Caesars when it's 39 degrees out and you're all bundled up and it's halftime is going to absolutely hit. It's going to be unbelievable. So that paired with some fireworks, I mean, it's very exciting. I think it's in the right direction. I'm really looking forward to an upper deck end zone being added next and being one of the biggest stadiums in the country eventually.
Absolutely.
I like it.
I was going to say he's off to an explosive start and then kind of hint at fireworks, but you already did that, so hopefully little pun.
I will say Little Caesars at halftime in 39-degree weather with a couple ginger ales under your belt. That's gonna. I don't know if there's any better combo there. Responsibly, of course. Responsibly.
Problem is, I told myself I'm not having Little Caesars again till Scoob gets extended for the Tigers, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to break that. But
you might never get Little Caesars.
I want to try the cheese puff so bad, but I'm not.
Well, you better not.
Scoob gets a contract.
You can just go eat the pretzels, brother. Don't get it. You made a promise.
My mom had a hot take and said that Auntie Annie's pretzels, she's going to be going for that over the mounting moments. I had to look at her like she's crazy, but
depends on temper, maybe.
Yeah, she was like, okay, the sun's going to be down by the time I'm going for this, and I was like, okay, that made a little more sense to me. But
yeah, respect.
Really quickly, Matt, what is your thoughts about reopening Munn for tailgating and then putting a beer garden in there?
I think it's amazing. I'm like, this dude is all about atmosphere and bringing the fans together. And like for me, as someone who if I was to be recruited in college football 26, like stadium atmosphere or like campus energy would be like one of my priorities. If I was getting recruited, I want to see that people care. Like when you're driving to Ohio State and you see the tailgates for miles outside of the stadium, like, dude, this fan base is crazy. Like, this is awesome. And so to see him, like, care about the game day experience outside of just on-field performance, it's very promising, super exciting, and I think it's just great for the whole program, whole fan base as a whole.
Yeah. You can tell, to me, you can tell he's from the South, like, because that's stuff they care about down in SEC country, and they're trying to make the best, tailgates, cookouts. So.
Oh yeah, it enhances everything. It makes it mean more. Just like this in SEC, everything just makes game day mean more. Like you're excited for a whole bunch of stuff.
So everyone's been talking about this one. Quick question for you: what is one sign you're looking for, either with defense, offensive, rushing? What is one sign you're looking for, and maybe a statistic where you say, okay, things are going to be different this year? Because I know the You Are the Program podcast with Lewerke, Rosano, and Tyler Higbee had talked about, different stats where, okay, that's maybe we're back. I know Locked On Spartans did the same. Is there any statistic, either like an absurd amount of sacks, an absurd amount of rushing yards, where you'll say, okay, maybe this is different, even though we're beating up on a MAC school with a brand new defense, basically?
Yeah, I was just talking to my brother about this, because it's hard. You don't want to get pump faked. Like, if you beat a MAC school, like we beat Central Michigan pretty handily last year, right? It was a pretty good game, if I remember correctly. I don't remember the exact.
Yeah.
But we played well.
Yeah.
And I would love, this isn't really a statistic. I'll get into what I think about the actual statistics, but I would love to see a 63-0 game. I can see J-Bat going in to Coach Smith's office and being like, hey, don't let up Friday night. I want to make a statement. right now, right away, I don't want to let up. I need this to be different than it has in the past. And I would love to see us just keep Aidan in, like maybe until a few minutes left in the fourth and just let it rip. I'm talking 60, 70 points on the board. But that would be
Seeing
promising to
Nick
me.
get injured against Prairie View last year, I disagree and I'm pumping the brakes, but I get the reasoning, but I'm pumping the brakes after seeing Nick Merck get hurt against an FCS squad last year.
I feel you. No, I respect that. I just want to see something that, because it's hard to get excited after, a school like Western Michigan. It's like, of course, you're going to play well, hopefully. But it's really when those other games come on that you have to really get tested. But as far as like percentage, I want to see like a red zone percentage, touchdown percentage go up for sure. I think that's a huge key in winning games and not settling for field goals. Fourth down conversion rates, watching the Lions win a lot of games based off their fourth down conversion rate. I think fourth down conversions is the future of football and not just third down. I think if you can achieve a higher percentage of fourth down and have the willingness to go for it on fourth down, that would be very encouraging as a fan watching. And
especially
then,
with the kicking game and everything in jeopardy. I don't know if you saw this, but basically it seems like if you're a kicker, you're probably in a boot or injured for the Spartans right now. Martin Connington is out for 1 or 2 weeks, and then Tariq Ahmed-Basic is a game-time decision. Then so Blake Sislow, a kicker who walked onto the program in July, is potentially your kicker one at game time. So fourth down conversions is something I definitely agree with.
Wow, I didn't know that was the situation. I heard something on Twitter. I seen something about we don't really know what the kicker situation is, but I didn't know that we had injuries like that. That's not good.
Yeah.
But totally, yeah, it would be awesome to watch, fourth down conversions happen. Because, watching the Lions, it's like, dude, if it's 3rd and 5, like, we have pretty good confidence right now in Jared Goff and delivering a first down. Like, we'll go empty, and, like, you're pretty confident. Like, it's nerve-wracking, but it's, like, it's awesome when it happens. So, and then the biggest one for me is, and for everyone, I think, is the turnover battle. Seeing that improve will win many more games this year.
Aidan Child's 0 turnovers would be ideal, for example, coming out of week.
Yeah,
it'd be beautiful.
Yeah.
So.
I do have a quick question, though. Obviously, you being the tight end offensive player, when you're going up against a team like Western, one thing that I've wrote about is wanting to see just a basic game plan. Like, I don't want to see, like, some complicated play design. I don't want to see, like, What's kind of like the game plan, like offensive game plan going into a type of game like this? Is it pretty basic, like throughout your experience? Is it kind of just like your base plays? Does it really kind of just depend on just the opponent or football? Like this
isn't number 2 ranked Penn State, for example.
Yeah, this should be like basic offensive play calling, in my opinion.
Facts. Yeah, no, totally. I think every week the first priority is game plan versus whatever defense they run, and then the basic beaters, like you said, to beat that. Cover 4 beaters, cover 2 beaters. Are they a man team? Do they bring a lot of pressure? Do they disguise their pressure? It's just that no matter who you're playing, if it's Abilene Christian or Ohio State, it's always going to be game plan versus the coverages and what type of defense they run. But as far as like showing your stuff, like you're saying, basic offense, definitely don't show like the trick plays and stuff or anything up your sleeve in a game like this, or like a fake punt. I don't think you really want to try a fake punt in a game like this.
Do you show anything to put it on film so that they have to have it in the back of their mind that Michigan State has this? For example, especially looking forward to like Boston College next week. Because I've heard that, we probably are going to see 1 or 2 Aidan Child's designated runs just so it's on film, so Boston College has to be thinking about it in the back of their minds. Because we all know Aidan can run. Yeah. We saw what he did against BC last year in that amazing play. But obviously, if you have a designated run or 2 on film. So is there a fine balance there, do you think?
Oh, yeah. That's a great point, because you're for sure using things one week just to change it up the next week and make it look the same, and it's something completely different. That's 100% true, and that's actually the best part about when you see a defense lined up like you think they will based off of what you ran last week, and you're about to cook them. Like, that's a great feeling. And that's definitely something that offenses try to do, and that I'm sure they will try to do. And then it also, I guess, it just depends on how deep the bag is in the offensive coordinator's brain, really. Like, if you see Ben Johnson, like, you're like, no way he had another trick play. Like, how many does he have? Like, it's infinite. Like, this dude just is creative. Like, his depth of creativity is just different than other coaches. So it really just depends how deep your bag is with play calling, but how much you want to show and how much you'll have left for the year. But, yeah, if it's not very deep, for sure. basic.
Yeah, I'll say this. I know Michigan State had a play or two last year where they had two punt returners back there. I believe at one point they did script a halfback pass against Michigan. It did not work out that way. Turned into like a negative 1 yard rush. But
Yeah.
I do think that Lindgren has a little bit of a bag, and with more depth, you might see that this year.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he does. I mean, to be offensive coordinator at a school like Michigan State, you have to have a pretty decent bag, and I'm hoping it's deep. It'll be fun.
Well, I know we've all kind of wondered, talked about predictions and all this stuff. We got to get yours before we let you go. Realistically, what are you thinking the final score will be on Friday? And then you got to give us your first touchdown scorer.
Okay, I got first touchdown scorer, Aidan Childs on a keep read option.
So last year,
my final score prediction. Final score prediction is I'm gonna go 56-7. Michigan State.
Big cover.
I like that.
That's more than the points over under. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it. I mean, it's a from year 1 to year 2 is when people want to see the biggest improvement every time, and I think they want to make a statement. That's what I'm feeling.
And this is one thing that Lindgren did say. He said that last year around FAU, when obviously offense a little bit of a disappointment, only 16 points, 2 of them from defense. Last year around this time, they had, quote, 70%, end quote, of the offense installed.
Yeah.
So this year, obviously, that number is going to be a lot different. You have a lot of returning players, I believe 34 returning lettermen. So, yeah, just take that how you will. Maybe we do see 56-7.
I was just going to say, I want to see a new MSU this year, and that means running up a little bit, because I feel like the last couple of years, these games have been closer than they should be, and I want to get back to mid-2010s where MSU's just blowing teams out that they should.
Or coming back against teams they shouldn't. Hello, Baylor.
Right.
My inner Chippewa is fine with that because we'll just say Western is not highly up on the teams I root for, so we'll put it like that. So
totally.
All right, you guys got anything else for Matt before we let him go? All right.
Wait, we got to hear your guys' predictions.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
What did I say? I said they covered. What did I say? 2-17. Is that what I said? 42.
I forget. Like I said 30. I said 38-10. I went under on the point spread, and then I said Nick Marsh. I said Nick Marsh touchdown to open the season.
I think I said 38-14. I believe, or something close.
I was the only one that had us covering, and I had the most points scored. So I think I was 42-17, and then I had
us covered.
I was just going to say, I'm pretty sure we all had covering.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because it's like 20.5.
Yeah.
The line pushed to 20?
Yeah.
20.5, yeah.
Yeah.
The more you know?
Yeah, it was.
Well, we didn't know about Cole Cabana at that time, so that was our bad.
Yeah.
My first touchdown.
Apparently that's a 1 point difference.
My first touchdown was Mekhi Frazier, running back.
Smart. Punching in at the goal line?
Yep.
Yeah, I heard your prediction. I really wonder.
I was just going to say, my touchdown prediction was the same as every single game last year.
Jack Velling.
Jack Velling. Love the tight ends. Got to give the tight ends a love.
Heck yeah.
So, Matt, you going to make it to East Lansing anytime this year? Do you know of yet?
I think UCLA is like potential. I have no idea what my life looks like in a couple months or a few weeks, but I think we're going to for sure try to go to the USC game because it's close to us out here in Phoenix. It's like we can drive there. So, yeah, UCLA or USC as of right now. Yeah.
We've been asking all our guests.
If you let me know, I'll see you there.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yep. Emmett's going everywhere. We got postal clearance for him everywhere. So
let's go.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, man. We appreciate it. It was good to sit and talk some ball for you, or with you, I should say. Anytime you want to come back on, you're always welcome. So
thanks, boys. No, I appreciate it. It's a good community right here. I always enjoy talking to you guys about Spartan football. It's literally the best thing ever, and it really feels real now, a couple nights away.
For real.
We'll have to get the group chat going with more picks and stuff.
More predictions.
Heck yeah. Totally.
So, but all right. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Thanks again to Matt for joining us, and of course Zach and Emmett for hopping on with me. This episode will be posted here shortly. We still have our defensive back preview to round out the rest of the roster. And then Friday, we got kickoff. We'll have reactions to the game. Emmett will be, of course, tweeting a hole in his keyboard from the press box. And then, we're off and running on the season. So it's been fun to get you guys all this content this week. If you haven't seen all of it, we've got the rest of the position groups breaking down on the roster. We have our Western preview that went up Sunday, our interview that went up today with Ashley and Stephen Collier, parents of freshman wide receiver Braylon Collier. One of my favorite interviews we've done yet. So check that out if you haven't. And yeah, we appreciate everybody tuning in like always, and we'll see you soon. Go Green.
Go White.
Go White.
Go White!